Dark feminine energy is not about having long black coffin nails, drinking men's tears for breakfast, or wearing lace and leather, red lipstick, or being the most badass woman that every man wants and being so seductive that everyone craves you. Like, that is not dark feminine energy. That is such that is like so superficial, a beta understanding of dark feminine energy. Dark feminine energy is very misunderstood. There's those that see the superficial aspect of it and they think it's just like an aesthetic makeup look. And then there's others that deem it to be evil and negative and toxic, and it's something that they fear. So there's just so much misconception and misunderstanding about what dark feminine energy is. Now, I'm going to do an entire video on the different misconceptions and misunderstandings about the dark feminine energy. You can check that out. But in this video, I'm going to be explaining what dark feminine energy really is. But we're going to take it step by step, because there's a lot to get to. Like, dark feminine energy is a very hidden, deep, soulful, complicated. I mean, for me, it's not complicated, but it's a lot. And it can be very triggering, especially when you get really deep into it. So we're going to take it step by step, and in this video I'm going to provide you with 10 traits of the dark feminine energy. And every woman has a dark feminine energy within her. It's a soul signature. Creation is built and based on light and dark, the yin and the yang. We all have the light and the dark within us, the yin and the yang within us. For some people, their light energy is more prominent, and for others, their dark energy is more prominent. But really, we need a balance of both, because if we have too much of one energy, then we're not in balance. And people often think that light is all positive and dark is all negative, and that is such a basic understanding of light and dark, because light has the potential of being also very toxic, just the way darkness has the potential of being also very positive. So you'd be surprised of how much you can take from light and darkness. It's not all what it seems to be. And what the dark energy, especially the dark feminine energy, what it's going to teach you is to see through the blurred lines, to see through the masks, the spells, the facade, the magic, the veil. That's what dark feminine energy is really going to teach you. Now, we're going to dive into that very deeply in another video, but first we got to understand what dark feminine energy is and the energetics, the soul signature, because that's what it really is. We all have a soul signature, a soul frequency. Like I said, for some, their light energy is more stronger. For others, their dark feminine energy is more stronger. Now, you can think of it as someone's personality as well, like something that they're naturally like and not pretending to be, because I see a lot of sheeps in wolves' clothing, okay? It's an energy that one naturally has, and the dark feminine energy manifests in, yes, one's personality and also their life experiences, what they go through when they incarnate on Earth. I'm going to first give you an understanding and explain to you what the personality type of a dark feminine energy is and her position in society and the life experiences she can go through. And then in other videos, we're going to get much, much deeper, but we always got to start from the beginning till we reach the end, right? So with that being said, let's get started and let me share with you 10 traits of a dark feminine energy. This woman is often labeled as very problematic because she doesn't follow the crowd, she doesn't follow what everyone else is doing, and she doesn't follow societal and cultural norms or lives up to the expectations of how she should act or who she should be. She marches to the beat of her own drum and listens to her intuition. So when a woman listens to her intuition, it goes against what everyone else says and everyone else's expectations and just even logic. But she always knows that her intuition, the voice not in her head, the voice in her heart, and even her nervous system, her instincts, the energies of the universe are guiding her. And what's so funny in life, people only really have a problem with you or they have a dislike for you when you don't do what they want you to do. When you do the opposite, when you listen to your own heart, head, and intuition, that's when you become problematic. That's when people don't like you. It's because they want to control you. They want you to be like them because they're afraid of anything different. They're afraid of anything that is real. So the dark feminine energy has always been labeled and known as the rebel or problematic. But really, she's just real. She's free in who she is, and she knows that the opinions and the thoughts of others do not serve her. Her heart, her higher heart, and her intuition serves her. And that's what she always surrenders to. So she doesn't care what everyone else is doing. She's going to do what she feels is right for her, what her guidance system is telling her. She may choose to live very differently to others and very differently to other women. And what other women want, she may not want. She doesn't care about. And other women can find her to be frightening and terrifying, or they may not even accept her because she doesn't choose to be like them. She doesn't want to follow the crowd. She doesn't want to do what everyone else is doing. She's always going to listen to her own heart and intuition and soul. Number 2, she's also outspoken. She always speaks out and never holds back. She's not one to bite her tongue. What is in her heart and on her heart, she will express. And it's going to be real and it's going to be raw, and it may be very frightening and terrifying. Like, her tongue is really like a sword. It can cut. It can cut, and she's not afraid to speak about things that are triggering, that are taboo, that others do not speak about, that others clutch their pearls at. She doesn't care about that. She's all about, let's address the elephant in the room. Let's talk about things that are uncomfortable. Because why are we going to pretend like this thing doesn't exist when it does? How does that serve anyone? It doesn't. So she's going to be the one that will address the elephant. She's going to be the one that's going to talk about things that others are too uncomfortable about. She's going to be asking difficult questions. She's going to be asking questions that people haven't even thought of. She's outspoken. She's going to say it how it is. She's going to defend herself and she's going to defend others. She will always speak truth. Like, that is a dark feminine energy. Women have always been taught to speak only when spoken to, but she's going to speak when she wants to speak, and she's going to remain silent when she wants to remain silent, because she's not really silent. She's having an inner dialogue with herself, her intuition, her guides, her spirits, her universe. Oh, you never know with the dark feminine. Number 3, the dark feminine energy is independent. It is free. It is like a wildfire. It can't be tamed. You can't put the dark feminine energy in a box and label it, because it will always surprise you. And these women are often very independent, and their independence and their freedom is super, super important to them. And the more you try to cage her or chain her down or try to hold on to her or cling on to her, if she feels like you are not letting her be the free spirit, the independent wild woman that she is, the more she's going to run further and further away from you and destroy anything that comes in her way. Number 4, she has a powerful demeanor. Some can also say she has a very magnetic aura. Now, this is often something that is very misunderstood about dark feminine energy, where you think it's all about just the vibe, the energy, the seductress, and that's not what I'm talking about necessarily. When I say she has a powerful demeanor, when she has a magnetic aura, I mean that when she walks into a room, there's a presence about her. She doesn't have to be the most flashiest woman. In fact, you know, dark feminine energy is not about, let me pile my face up with 10 layers of makeup and wear the brightest or the most darkest red lipstick. Like, that's not dark feminine energy. Yes, it's femininity, but it's not necessarily dark feminine energy, because dark feminine energy is more raw and more naked than the superficial aspect of femininity. But of course, dark feminine women can definitely like those things, but it's not necessarily the true expression of dark feminine energy. Because if we're going to be real for a moment, women are afraid of being who they really are. They're going to have the fake nails, the fake lashes, the fake hair, the fake this, the fake that, the fake everything. But the dark feminine energy is about the real, the raw, being comfortable in your own skin and being who you really are and not what others want you to be. On the point of her powerful demeanor, her magnetic presence and aura, when she walks into the room, she makes a statement. She doesn't have to be dressed up or be the flashiest or the loudest person in the room. No. You will still notice her. Regardless. She could be in a paper bag and you're still going to notice her. Like, there's this magic that exists within her, and it radiates outwards, and people feel that. And her aura, her energy can make others uncomfortable, because she really acts as a spiritual mirror. And it can trigger others, and that's why sometimes people can have a problem with her or just have this dislike for her for no logical reason, but they'll make something up from their imagination. But really, she's a spiritual mirror, which means that her energy, her energetics brings up everything that is buried, everything that is hiding, the darkness, the ugly. It brings it right up to the surface so it could be revealed. That's what a spiritual mirror energy is. It reveals the darkness. And for her, it reveals the darkness in others. So it can be tough. And you gotta have quite a backbone having this energy, because, boy, you gotta be ready for the attacks and the misunderstandings and the drama that others come with when you just live life in peace, you know? And with that magnetic aura, because she has a dark feminine energy, often people with a distorted dark energy can be very attracted to her, or are really just starving for her energy, because her darkness is divine and theirs is distorted, and really that distortion is looking for healing and balance, but that's not her job. And wherever she goes, she gets attention, and it's not something that she really wants. She doesn't want it. She wants to live life in peace, perhaps even isolated from society, I don't know, in the forest with the animals, with the stars and the moon. You know, she wants to be in her own divine dark cave. But here we are in this 3D mundane world. We can't live in a dark divine cave like we used to. You know, we gotta live life. So she can definitely run into a lot of situations where, you know, people can get triggered, or her aura, her energy can make some people really obsessed. So I guess that's where the misconception of, oh, you know, the dark feminine energy can make you so magnetic and people can be obsessed with you. I mean, if you want that, that's distortion. That's not divine. But a natural dark feminine, she's already going to have that naturally. She doesn't have to try or be something that she's not. Number 5, she is a lone wolf. And she may feel isolated from society and outcasted due to, you know, being who she is. But she has this peace with being alone, and she enjoys her solitude. It's her sanctuary. She can love being alone. It goes back to being independent and being free and being wild. She enjoys it because she's able to listen to her intuition. She's able to listen to the whispers of the universe. She's able to maintain her divine connection. She's able to be her true, complete, organic self. So she can be a lone wolf, and it's difficult for her to be around so many people, because as a dark feminine, her intuition and her psychic sensitivity is going to be super strong. So it's not something that she can deal with all the time when she's with people, because it becomes overwhelming and she can absorb a lot of energy. So being alone is her happy place. You know, some people don't know what to do when they're alone. They go crazy when they're alone. But for her, it's her happy place, it's her sanctuary, and it's empowering and healing for her. Number 6, the dark feminine is self-assured. Goes back to what I was saying about, you know, she can be labeled as a rebel or problematic because she doesn't follow the crowd, she doesn't follow what everyone else is doing, she doesn't live life like everyone else, and she doesn't conform to societal and cultural expectations of her. So because she's so confident in who she is, and she knows who she is, and she's self-assured, this can be triggering for other people. Like, imagine that. Imagine somebody just living life and not bothering anyone and just being true to who they are and not causing harm to anyone, but others get triggered. Imagine that. That sounds like a them problem, not a you problem. And because she's so sure of herself, anyone who does have insecurities, they're gonna get triggered. I mean, there's no denying and no doubt about that. They're gonna get triggered and feel some type of way. They're gonna feel insecure. She can definitely take out the insecurities because she's a spiritual mirror. So wherever she goes, the darkness that is hiding or is within others, the shadows that need light, they're gonna come out. She's gonna bring them out. Not by doing anything, it's just by her energetics. So this woman is very self-assured, and you can't tell her nothing. You can't tell her what to be and what to do. She's going to always listen to her intuition, okay? She's self-assured, she's confident, she knows who she is. If you're triggered about it, keep on getting triggered. She ain't going to change. She knows who she is. She's very fixed in who she is. She can be very stubborn in who she is, no matter what you tell her. She doesn't care. Number 7, this woman can be very private and very reserved. Even if you think you know her, do you really know her though? Because she is quite a mystery to crack. No matter how much you try to get to know her or you think you know her, she will always surprise you. And even when you think you do know her, probably not. Because this woman is so complex in nature, although for her it's just simplicity and it's a bit of magic and mystery. I mean, baby, keep up. But she really doesn't give much away. She keeps her cards to her chest, close to her heart, and she's not somebody that is as open as other women. She's not someone who gives so much away or just will talk about herself night and day. No, she's very reserved. And why? Because she doesn't feel like everyone deserves access to her. She doesn't feel like everyone should know everything about her. She doesn't feel like anyone really has the right to know anything about her. And there's people who deliberately try to be mysterious and try to hide things, or, you know, they try to give that vibe like they be trying it. And it's all a facade. And they'll even say, you know, I don't give too much away and I'm so private. No, because private people don't need to tell you that they're private. You just don't know nothing about them, even if you think you do. You know, so the dark feminine energy is a mystery that you can't solve. Number 8, the dark feminine is mystical and magical. She is deeply in tune with nature. She is the wild woman. She is the priestess energy. She is the witch energy, the medicine woman energy, and she has a very strong connection with the earth and ether. And this is a woman that's going to be very in tune with the spiritual aspect of life. And as a dark feminine, of course, she's going to be attracted to things that others find to be too dark. Like, for example, she's somebody that's, of course, going to be in tune with nature, with the cycles of the moon. Maybe she enjoys doing moon rituals that others find terrifying and find to be dark or bad, or whatever label that they give to things that they don't really understand or fear. But listen, she's gonna keep on doing what she wants to do. And the thing is, no matter how many sticks and stones people try to throw at her, she has a divine, powerful shield around her. So anything that you throw at her, it's gonna bounce back and hit you 10 times hard. So be careful, because with such a woman and the energy that she holds, you know, there's a certain protection that she has. Number 9, this woman is too much of everything. Or in other words, she is a woman that cannot be deceived, played with, tricked, controlled, manipulated. She can't be what you want her to be. She will never be what you want her to be. She is too much of everything. She's got it all. She's self-assured. She's confident. She's in tune with the earth, the ether, with nature. She knows things that others are probably going to take lifetimes to understand. And she's on the path of really awakening to her true self. She's aware of the light and the dark that does exist. She knows truth, and she's not afraid of speaking her truth. She's not afraid of living her truth. So because she is everything that others really want to be, they label her. Others around her will want to tame her, mold her, control her, manipulate her. And you just can't do that with the dark feminine. It just doesn't work. It doesn't. You can't play no games with her. Number 10, she is misunderstood. People misunderstand her all the time. They try to understand who she is from the confines of their mind, but it's just not something that they will ever really be able to understand unless they have activated that energy within them. But since they're judging, since they're labeling her, since they find her to be just a little odd or weird or strange or rebellious or problematic, they're never gonna awaken that aspect of them because they're afraid of it. They fear it. They are terrified. But at the end of the day, people can judge her, label her, fear her, misunderstand her. It doesn't matter, because when she sleeps at night, she sleeps at night with peace, because she knows who she is, and it doesn't matter if others don't. She doesn't need to prove anything to them. Today I shared with you 10 dark feminine traits, but there's an endless amount of dark feminine traits. There's many depths to the dark feminine, but I really want to start at the beginning and just give you a little taste of the dark feminine energy, because there's much to explore, there's much to dive in, there's so many layers, so many deeper layers, but we always got to start at the starting point. So that was the purpose with this video, and I hope you understand the dark feminine a little better and understand that it's not an aesthetic. It's not about wearing knee-high boots and wearing red lipstick and doing siren eyes. Like, that's not dark feminine energy esoterically or spiritually. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this share. If you did, show it some love, give it a thumbs up, and also comment down below, what does a dark feminine energy mean to you? How do you view it? How have you experienced it? And also, if you want me to touch up on any particular aspect of the dark feminine energy or archetype, let me know. And also subscribe and tap on the notification bell, because I definitely will be sharing much more on this energy. So take care, and I'll see you soon. Lots of love.